Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. There goes my cat. She's just like, whoosh. We're talking about Monday Night Raw, February 19th, 2024. Pat McAfee, Michael Cole on commentary. We started off with the banger, folks. We started off with Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes. What a hell of a match. What a way to start Monday Night Raw with these two strong individuals in that ring. And they brought it. And I was like, who's going to win? Who, you know, because Drew's in the Elimination Chamber. Like, Cody really doesn't have anything to lose, but he does a little bit because he hasn't been pinned in a bit. So who's gonna win? And I love the finish so much. It was it felt like WrestleMania season all over again. Cody, he gets Drew, and he's about to get the 1, 2, 3. Nope, here comes Jimmy. He's knocking on the bell like ding, 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 and threw me off too. I was like, wait, what? And of course, Solo, bam, hit Cody Rhodes. And Drew took advantage of that. The hypocrite he is, taking advantage of that because he's always like, the bloodline does this. And then he took the offer they gave to take the advantage and beat Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw. And I was torn. I was like, you son of a bitch. Hypocrite. We have a big main event tonight, too. Jey Uso versus Gunther. They got a Jey and Gunther package. We get to hear some promos from them and everything like that. Andrade promo, really great with his masks and everything. You know, it's his time to shine, and I think he's probably going to get the push he deserves. I really did like him in AEW, but it's just one of those things like they didn't know what to do with him. So they gave him some cool matches, and they gave him this whole thing with the Miro and everything like that. You know, I didn't give a fuck less, man. But he's back in WWE, and I think Triple H understands that this guy is a star, and we can build him up to being that star. So then we have Adam backstage with Cody. Cody says, "Hey, I'm fine. You know, like back off. Let me just breathe for a second." Then here comes Seth freaking Rollins. He comes in, looks at him. He's like, "Told you." And he's like, taps his knee, saying like, hey, I am here for you to help fight the bloodline, you know, like I've offered last week on Monday Night Raw. So, and then we have next up the Women's Last Chance Battle Royale for the Elimination Chamber. And Raquel Rodriguez is back. Awesome. I do really like her. But as soon as they're like, oh my God, she's back. I was like, oh, she's winning this thing. It was my first immediate thought was like, okay, so I'm going to watch this Battle Royale. And everyone knows I have loves and hates with Battle Royales. Usually they can be good. Usually they can be entertaining. This one was fine for what it was. But as soon as Raquel Rodriguez came back, I was like, well, I know who's winning this one. And she did win this Battle Royale. Welcome back, Raquel Rodriguez. Big win. And now she's in the Elimination Chamber match. We have Jey Uso cutting a promo. I'm guessing the glasses now are a thing. The blue outline glasses, you know, he's going to get that crowd hype. He gets Pat McAfee hyped, so that it's, yeah. Then next up, we got Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax interview side by side. They're sitting there, and Nia does her thing, but Rhea really owns this moment here because she tells her, like, hey, when we get to Australia in front of my home crowd, they're going to, you know, as soon as they start cheering for mommy, you're going to fall apart. And I was just like, damn. I was like, all right, girl, damn. You know, and Nia really didn't have any response to that. And I felt like this was a cool moment to have, like when Seth and Matt Riddle, you know, were going back and forth in that little end moment where he's like, hey, you still there? He's like, yeah. He's like, hey, you piece of shit. Like, you mentioned my family. You know, you're divorced. And this, I was waiting for that level between these two to go at each other. But Rhea's more the talker than Nia. Nia's more of the punch in the face. Punchy. We have Chad Gable and Ivar promo. They got a match tonight. What a match indeed. We also have a R-Truth and Judgment Day package type thing, talking about how R-Truth has to come to the reality of, like, he's not with the Judgment Day. It is so fucking funny. He has this raincoat thing on, poncho, whatever, and they're like, when did you know about the, when you know, they were like, since we were babies, we're in the womb, and he shows back those pictures, and I'm kind of glad, though, we're done with this. You know, the Judgment Day can go on, and they can be, you know, more serious and stuff like that, but this was with Jackie, and and I like, he put the little heart up, he's like, yeah, you know, love and everything. Then we go backstage. We have Michael Chandler for the UFC. They had a bull rider. They had a boxer. And I was just like, okay, first things first. Like, I understand that the company is under TKO. And as the company that merges UFC and WWE together. And sure, we could have some paths cross. This Michael Chandler, I don't even know who the fuck he is. Like, I don't know who he is. I don't watch UFC. I watch pro wrestling, baby. And... you know, it's one of those things where he's like, he calls out Conor McGregor. Fucking cool. But, like, if this is going to be an ongoing thing, I don't want it. I know it's not, like, you could tell me, like, hey, Kyle, it ain't up to you. It's up to the board, what they want to do, what they want to push. Because it was like this guy, then they showed another boxer guy, then they showed this bull rider guy. And I'm like, is this guy an actually, like a bull rider? Like, does TKO own some stock in that as well? I'm just like, I don't care. Don't put it on the show. And building angles for UFC during the show. And the one thing I found a little silly was when Michael Chandler's doing his thing, he's yelling at the crowd, blah, 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 you know, and the camera's panned just so well to where the WrestleMania is behind him. And him calling out Conor McGregor. I'm like, oh, God, please don't let this be at WrestleMania. Please don't let this be at WrestleMania. You know, it's funny, everybody on commentary, Pat McAfee, were like, you know, oh my God, this match, boss. Like, I don't give a fuck about this. I don't. I really don't. But the way that camera was panned on him and he's calling out Conor McGregor, I was just like, oh, please, let's not start having UFC matches at WWE events. I knew this was eventually going to happen. Remember they tried to get that little bit when the SmackDown revamped itself and everything with the boxer, the big dude or whatever, but I was just like, Then we have R-Truth, The Miz, and DIY versus the Judgment Day. Fun match. Bunch of great spots. The Judgment Day gets the win because they're walking into Elimination Chamber going against Pete and Tyler for those undisputed tag team championships, and that's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, but they keep the momentum going as they're walking in to Elimination Chamber. Then we have the Bloodline and the Rock package, you know, that heel Rock, and I really enjoyed going back and revisiting it, and his little L that he puts up instead of the 1. Then we have Jackie backstage with Sami Zayn. You know, he had that moment with Shinsuke and losing to Shinsuke, and he's like, I don't know how to get back up to the top. I don't know how, you know, I'm going to get there, but I will get there. I'll get back into WrestleMania. And this really feels like that moment with Seth Rollins, you know, because he was like, I need to get to WrestleMania. And he went to Vince's office and all this other stuff, and he was trying to get there. Then this is when we got the big Cody Rhodes thing. So we'll see what happens with Sami. But this catches the ear of Shinsuke, who talks a little bit later. Then we have a big segment right here with the man coming out, cutting a promo, saying, this is my first Elimination Chamber, and everything like that. She's going on, and here comes Liv Morgan, then Raquel Rodriguez, then Naomi, then Tiffy time, baby, and Bianca Belair, that girl, you know. And it was like, man, this chamber is stacked. I mean, stacked. So I'm excited, but all these women are gonna whoop some ass. But guess who whooped their ass? Nia Jax. She came out swinging. She's just like, no, I'm gonna show who's the dominant force inside the women's division, and that's Nia Jax. And she just laid them all to waste. I thought Rhea Ripley was gonna come out. Gunther cuts a promo, then Shinsuke cuts a promo, and is very eerie, and I love the fact that he does it in his own language and everything, and it adds more to the flavor of drama and everything like that. So Shinsuke, you know, calling out Sami Zayn one more time, I think, or unless we're going to have another match, but he's going to face him next week. Big match. Then we have the New Day. Also, too, they cut a promo before we get to this match. They cut a promo on Imperium, and next week they're going to face Imperium in a street fight. It's been building and building and building, and I think that's the way we're going to get to it. Ivar versus Chad Gable. Oh, man. I love Chad Gable. He's the mat master, the mat magician, the mat magician. He is all those things because he's that damn good inside that ring, and he went toe-to-toe with Ivar. Oh, this match was so good. I had so much fun with this match, and the fact that Chad Gable tapped out Ivar, I was like, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, oh, my God. The wife sitting over here, she's like, what? I was like, he tapped out Ivar. Oh, God. You know, I was like, oh, my God, that's crazy. That's insane. So Chad Gable gets the win. Alpha Academy comes out and celebrates. We have Kathy backstage with Drew McIntyre, and Drew's like, hey, I know everyone's calling me a hypocrite, blah, 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 you know. I get it, but I only speak the truth, and that's all I'm going to do because I'm Drew McIntyre, you know, doing his shtick. But now we get to the main event. Intercontinental Championship, and Jey Uso versus Gunther. And I got the finishes mixed up with this because I said the bell in the first match, and it's all coming back to me right now. They did not do that spot. They did that spot in this match with Jimmy. I completely spaced on that. So Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. Jimmy comes out. Then Jimmy comes out with the distraction. Then Solo hits him with the thumb. And then this match was the bell because Jey Uso and Gunther went to town. There was back and forth. Talk about a heavy-handed championship match. They're going. And then like, as soon as we thought Jey was going to get the win, he was going to get his first championship, then the bell goes ding, 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 and then it's Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso causes enough of a distraction for Jey, and Gunther gets the win, pins Jey Uso. Gunther retains his championship. Jimmy attacks him, and now we're on the road to WrestleMania. So now I'm guessing we're going to get brother versus brother at WrestleMania. Ending this because even Jimmy's like, no, you ain't doing this without me. You know, you don't deserve this championship. You don't deserve championships without me because I'm your big, you know, little brother. And, you know, he goes on, and I'm just like, oh, I love WrestleMania season. I love WrestleMania season so much. So we end the show there. Great show. My match of the night. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes are so good. Chad Gable and Ivar. I got to say those are tied. But Jey Uso and Gunther, it was such a good stack show. 5 out of 5. Now let's get into my picks and predictions for Elimination Chamber 2024. The men's Elimination Chamber match, we got Kevin Owens versus Bobby Lashley versus Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul versus LA Knight. So if you're new to the picks and predictions, I go through the matches and I pick who's going to win and also where we could be going forward in that prediction as well as stories and stuff like that. So with the men's Elimination Chamber, there's a lot going on here. A lot. So, and this is a little bit harder. It's like rolling the dice and like who's going to get this championship? Who's going to win? I think Drew McIntyre is going to win this chamber. Go on to face Seth at WrestleMania. We're going to set up Logan and LA Knight for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. Something's going to happen with Bobby in the Final Testament or anything like that. I don't know where Randy's going to go, but we could get Randy versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. You know, causing that between them two. So, but I think Drew McIntyre is going to win the Elimination Chamber. Now, let's flip over to the women's side of the Elimination Chamber. You got Raquel Rodriguez versus Naomi versus Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair versus Tiffany Stratton. As much as I would love Tiffany Stratton to go on and face Rhea Ripley, I know it's going to be Becky. They've been hinting at the man versus mommy for a very long time now, and it's been out there. So we're going to see Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley after, and that's my prediction for the Women's World Championship match between Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's going to win that match, and I'm hoping that's the main event for this show. So when Becky wins, we can end it with her coming out face-to-face with Rhea Ripley at the show and being like, you know, now it's me and you, WrestleMania. Point at the sign. We got a point at the sign. And with the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, Pete and Tyler are walking out with those Tag Team Championships. They're walking out with them. I feel it in my bones. They're walking out with those Tag Team Championships, and we could get a rematch at WrestleMania, but I don't think so. I think Or, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on this one. But we'll see. I have that feeling Pete and Tyler are going to get those Undisputed Tag Team Championships, and that would be great. Or we get DIY versus the Judgment Day at WrestleMania for the championships, and DIY gets to the WrestleMania moment, and they win the Undisputed Tag Teams. But I'm picking Pete, and I'm picking Tyler, and I'm sticking to it. Then we have the Grayson Waller effect with Cody and Seth. Roman put it out there. He doesn't have to go to Elimination Chamber. He doesn't have to go to Australia. He likes that. He likes that a lot. And he says, they better acknowledge him while they do this show and everything like that. So Cody and Seth, this is one of those things where something's going to happen. Either The Rock's going to come out, or either Jimmy or Solo are going to come out, and they're going to beat down Cody and Seth, or Seth are going to hold off the ring. Something bloodline-wise is going to happen. I don't think it's The Rock. I know Roman's not going to be there, so it has to be Jimmy and Solo coming out to cause some drama and stuff like that. So, men's chamber, picking Drew. Women's, picking Becky. Undisputed Tag Team Championship, picking Pete and Tyler. Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley. And then Grayson Waller effect, some bloodline shenanigans is going to happen, and it's going to cause a fight with all of them. And then Cody and Seth are going to stand there fending off the bloodline. So there's my picks and predictions for Elimination Chamber 2024. And there we go. I give Raw 5 out of 5, like I said. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Go get yourself that sweet nWp logo created by Penta X. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
That is that right! Solo with a Samoan spike! The damn bloodline is here!